This is an interesting story. It's gone viral on TikTok. People have got a lot to say. A family of 6 shared their living condition on TikTok. This family consists of 2 parents and 4 kids, and the woman is currently pregnant for the 5th child. This family lives in 1-bedroom apartment, and the internet wasn't happy with the video they saw.
As you can read in the caption above, we're a family of 6 going on 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. As the kids grow older, that means we constantly have to adapt our environment to give them more means for privacy and extra space. When outside our environment appears cluttered, disorganized, what have you. But quite frankly, after making do for nearly 3 years now, I have nothing but a grateful spirit for the roof over our head. Generally, the instant judgment me and my husband receive, why have so many kids if you don't have enough space for them? See, my perception is judgment comes from a place of not having the experience. When you've experienced enough, you generally don't judge people. I can tell you after everything I've been through in the past 3 years, there's very little I have to judge people. I would be lying if I said there wasn't a point in my life that I was so naive that I might have judged a poor person based off their appearance. And like I said, I have learned a lot. I generally look like I'm roughing it, but that's because our kids come first. I do everything I can to keep our environment clean and tidy. When it comes down to it, I could shove everything my kids have in 1 bedroom of some of these houses I see, and it would really look like nothing. We try to teach our kids to take care of what they have, be grateful for what we have, and keep praying and pushing for the growth that we want. Appreciate y'all watching. See you in the next video.
What are your thoughts on having kids that you can't afford? Having kids that you're having financial struggles to cater for? So tell me, what do you think about that video? Do you think those parents are not treating those kids right because of the environment they are in? Remember, children never asked to be born. You get what I mean? So people are very upset. They said, why will they subject innocent kids to that condition? People are asking so many questions. And we also have some group of people that are also supporting the video. Let's hear what this lady has to say.
Why is your baby, your little small baby, sleeping on a mattress pad in your kitchen? How does that make sense? Why are you in the master bedroom and you have 4 kids sleeping in your living room and kitchen? And you're clearing out a table to make room for 1 more that's on the way. You're a family of 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. What is going on? When do we draw the line? Why are your kids sleeping on blankets? Bitch, I'm so fucking twisted and just so, oh my God, appalled.
The thing that bothers me the most about this family of 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment viral video that's going around is not that these people are obviously low income and have a multitude of kids, because, you know, obviously there's issues with openly saying that you can't afford shoes for living children, but then continuing to bring more children into the world. Obviously, that's an issue. We can all agree on that. The thing that bothers me the most, that I like, it makes my eye twitch, it's gonna haunt me, I'm probably gonna have a fucking nightmare about it tonight, is the fact that you posted all of these children's faces. You posted the general layout of your home. You tagged the city in which you live in. You're posting these kids in their diapers. And then you're also basically implying that you're at home with them alone. And then come to find out, you have the master bedroom, you have the primary bedroom with your partner as the adults, while these kids are sleeping in the front room next to the door, where the outside is, where the public is, in a 1-bedroom apartment. And these kids are as young as, like, apparently, I don't know for sure, like 10 months old. And they're sleeping on mats this thick by the door. And you have the primary bedroom. That fucking bothers me. It bothers me. The just complete and utter lack of care about children's health and wellness on this app. Like, basic safety out the door, out the front door that your kids are sleeping next to, because you just post on the fucking internet with their whole faces. I don't know what the fuck's going on with y'all.
If you go on their TikTok page, you would see the faces of those kids. Their faces are on the internet. You would see videos of them doing their night routine, cooking together, cleaning up together. The safety of she and her family should be the most important thing. The truth of the matter here is this: there are a lot of people living like that, especially in Africa and also in the US, in other parts of the world, not just Africa alone. But she coming on the internet to share that means she's risking losing those kids. I don't know where she's situated. She's risking losing those kids. I don't know if she didn't think about it. There's a lot of people are talking, and they're most likely to call the authorities on her. That's not a good living condition for those kids. All fingers are not equal. People are trying to get by and all that. But if you bring it to the internet, then you should know people are going to have a lot to say. And that might mean you losing your kids in the process. I don't know if they were not thinking. Not everyone is against the video. Some people are in support of it. Let's hear what this lady has to say.
The children are okay. Yeah. They're in a safe environment with two parents that love each other. I keep on hearing a lot of women saying, this is ridiculous. You have brought children into this world, into poverty. The reality is she had two children. He had a son. So before they decided to have children of their own, they already had 3 children. She's about to have her 3rd child with this man. She didn't have 6 children for him. Second, children don't know they're poor until someone else points it out. And I saw the video and all I see is that she is a loving mother. She cooks for them. She brushes their hair. Those children look healthy, well taken care of. Poverty is not a disease. It's a condition that people can improve. These children are not being abused. And if you ask them, they will tell you that they're very happy. He had a son that lived with him by himself, and she had 2 daughters that lived with her in a single parent household. But now that they're a combined family, those children are happy. Give this family a chance. They'll get a bigger place. Don't be quick to judge.
Like I said, this is not new. This is not record breaking. A lot of people are living in this condition, be it in the US, in the UK, in Nigeria, in Africa, in North America, anywhere, in Asia. A lot of people are living in this condition. But the difference here is the fact that she put it out there on social media. I know when you have something on TikTok, on social media, you're giving people that free will to air their opinion. And that's what a lot of people are doing. You get? And you know how social media can be. Someone can be castigating someone, but they are doing the same thing behind the camera. So I'm not in support of this living condition, and I'm not here to castigate her. I don't know exactly what your struggle is. You know, life is a roller coaster. You can have it today and tomorrow you don't have it anymore. Maybe at some point in their relationship they had enough money. Maybe they lived in a better apartment, and then something happened, they lost it. Because they lost their living condition because of financial issues, does that mean that they should do away with those kids? No. Life is in phases. It goes up and down. You might have it today, you might not have it tomorrow. That's how life goes. So I don't know. I hope they don't wish to stay that way forever. So I don't know what the plan is. But right now, what's going on is that they're being torn apart on the internet.
Why did you buy a wedding dress, Brandon? I never told you we were going to get married. I told you from the beginning that was never going to fucking happen. Why would you buy a wedding dress? What's that got to do with me? You bought a wedding dress?
I've never bought a wedding dress in my life, Jeremy. And I know you said you didn't want to get married. You also said that you were E&M, and then it was only me. And you know what? I thought that someday you would love me.
I tried to tag people, it wasn't working, so I just posted it here. But they've been together for 14 months. He told her day one he did not want to get married. She still bought a wedding dress. I think that's crazy, but now I feel like I'm being gaslit by the internet on her comments and on her videos. And she's like, well, guys, I didn't even buy the wedding dress for him. Okay, but you gotta be able to understand. Somebody said they didn't like the way that he talked to her. Okay, that's valid. Okay, maybe he was a little too mean, maybe to some people. But I would be pissed off too. Am I tripping for real? I feel like I'm going crazy here.
That is a typical example of women hoping to change a man in a relationship. What was the initial agreement? He said he's not interested in getting married. You got into the relationship with him and you're hoping that one day he's going to love you to the point that he would want to get married. And I think she buying that wedding dress is she trying to make him see reasons why they should get married. Maybe in her head, or if he sees this wedding dress, he might want to reconsider. He might want to reconsider his decision. I don't really blame the man for standing his ground and saying he's not going to marry her. Like he said, he stated it at the beginning and he's not going to change his mind on that. But people are talking about the way he spoke to her. I get their point, but it's the woman I'm going to blame. I'm not even going to blame the man whether he shouted at her or something. I know mannerism is important, But let's talk about the big elephant in the room, the woman. You knew you wanted to get married. That's something you're looking for, what you crave for. But you decided to be with a man that has told you he doesn't want to marry you. This is desperation. I don't know how old she is. It could be people around her are getting married and she's being pressured to get married. So to her, any man that comes, that's okay. Oh, let me just tell people I'm in a relationship. Oh, I've got a man and all that. That's exactly what's playing out here. Why the hell would you get into a relationship with someone that said they don't want to get married, but you want to get married? Misplaced priority. I feel for her.
My son ended up passing away, so I'm giving his college fund to his best friend who was by his side until the very end. The thing is, my family is mad at me because I'm not giving the money to my nephew. I'm a 39-year-old man, and in 2019, I lost my son to a chronic heart condition. He was only 15 years old, and to say the grief was bad would be an understatement. The grief was unbearable. And throughout this time, the worst part is none of my family helped me. None of them came to the hospital to bring him a meal when he was hungry. None of them came to watch him when I needed to go home for a few hours. None of them stepped up to the plate at all. All I got was a bunch of empty words and no help. But during that time, I managed to put away some money for my son's college fund because we used to talk about him going to college. And although he was depressed and he didn't think he could go, he clung to a little bit of hope that maybe he would get better and be able to attend college. I kept saving money in hopes of keeping my son's spirits up to make him feel like he had a future just like any other kid does. My son also had a best friend who was about the same age as him, who was by his side for 5 years. He would even spend nights at the hospital with him, encouraging my son to do activities, anything to keep his spirits up. And the thing is, even after my son passed away, this kid didn't disappear. This kid would still even come to check on me, to talk to me, to see how I was doing. Some days we sit talking, some days we just cry together. This kid even makes projects showing me, reminiscing about my son in honor of him. So last week, when my sister asked me what I was planning to do with the college fund I had for my son, I ain't really want to talk about it. But since she brought it up, I told her, oh, I'm going to be giving that to my son's best friend. This guy was more family closer to my son than any of them. My sister didn't even acknowledge this friend. She was looking confused and she said that the money should go to my nephew because he's family and he deserves it. My mom even chimed in on it, saying that my nephew deserves the money and that I'm making a big mistake by giving it to someone else and that my nephew would be disappointed. The thing is, my nephew wasn't close to my son at all. I don't even understand why he would even care. But they keep trying to tell me that I'm making a mistake by what I'm doing and how my nephew deserves the money. But the thing is, I don't think I'm making a mistake. I think I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm doing the correct thing. But they still keep trying to hammer it in my head that I'm making such a big mistake. So I came here to ask, am I?
That's a very sad story. The first time I watched it, I cried. Not because of his family, but because of the son. 5 years with that. And the friend. The sacrifice the friend made for the son. Like, it's humanity. That's what I see. And you don't get real people that way these days anymore, if you get what I mean. So I just try to picture that scenario. The friend being there, trying to encourage him. And when he spoke about going to college, saving up funds and all that, and the son hoping, or maybe if he makes it, he might go, like, it just got me emotional. So do you think this is not even a question I should be asking, but he's asking, do you think he's making the wrong decision? This has to do with entitled family members. They're not there for you, but they want the most from you. Why should you be feeling entitled over someone else's money? And you're not even acknowledging the fact that someone was there for this son. For the son, someone sacrificed for the son. Where were you? From his story, they were not there for him. and now they want to reap where they didn't sow. Now that's bad. That's really bad. But that was a very sad story. May his son's soul continue to rest in peace. Amen.
This is what I did though. I dated 5 women to see who I was going to marry to help me with my kids. And a Japanese woman.
So first, let me say this about that clip. He dated 5 women to see who he was going to marry that was going to help him with his kids. And the Japanese woman won. And this confirms 2 things that I've been saying. Number 1, women are competing with each other to see who can be used the most, to see who can be the best slave. Because you know you can hire full-time nannies and get him a salary. Nope, he wanted to marry a woman so that she could do it for free under the guise of a relationship. Number 2, why are y'all still sleeping on this book?
This is a good example of men as selfish. So he's dating because he's looking for someone that will take care of his kids. He's not dating because he likes the person, he cares about the person. No. Of course, he's not going to be hostile to the person. I hope so. We know how men do it. They're going to tell you they love you, love bomb you, sweet talk you, but deep down, they know they don't really care. They just want some certain things from you, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. So he went out there looking for women to date because he wants them to take care of his kids. Wow. If you're with a man, you need to know what you're doing in that man's life and why he has you in his life, because men can camouflage. They can act all nice, but deep down, they don't really care. That's why we can see a man wake up and say he doesn't want a relationship anymore. A relationship that the woman has been nice to him, doing everything for him. He wakes up and says he doesn't want it anymore. Men are selfish. Men are selfish. And every day we keep seeing their selfishness in display. Men are selfish. They think about themselves alone. Always put yourself first as a lady.
That's why I say to my daughters around the world, marry for money. It's okay. Because these people in this world love you for your legs. If you love me for my body, why can't I love you for money? Nobody has ever looked at you and said, baby, stand. Wait. Say, how are you? What's your name? Maria. Now, tell me the condition of your heart and then give me your number. Tell your neighbor, I said, the problem with the heart, it doesn't come out well on photos.
He just said what we've been saying on this channel. Men care about sex. They want women for sex and for keeping their lineage going. So if a man wants you for your body, you're free to want him for whatever you want him for, if you get what I mean. If you want him for money, it's your cup of tea. If you want him for something else, it's your own cup of tea. So you don't need to feel bad for whatever you want from a man, because majority of the men, if not all of them, want women for sex. Number 1.
It is only in Africa where for you to be considered a wife material, you must choose misery and suffering. To be considered a wife material in Africa, you have to pick misery and suffering. If you're living luxuriously, you do not tolerate bullshit from men. You know, they start calling you a shower. Hey, call me a shower than a wife material in this generation. You would rather call me a shower than a wife material. Thank you.
It's not just in Africa alone. If you don't know what ashawo means, it means prostitute. 3 or 4, those names that men use to bring down women. Not because those women are what they're calling them. Majority of the time, those women are not what they're calling them. They're just using it to bring down women's self-esteem, to humble women, to bring women down so those women can accept them. What she said is true. When you hear a man talk about, I'm looking for a wife material, that man is looking for a woman that can take all his BS, a woman that has long suffering, a woman that has patience, a woman that can accept all his excesses, a woman that would still be there, treat him like a baby, cook for him, pamper him, do his laundry for him, take care of the house while he goes out there to cheat and live his best life. That's what a good number of men are looking out for.
A lot of men do get married because they want a maid, a chef, a house cleaner, like all of these things, which that's totally fine if that's his wants and needs out of the partner. But then don't expect for her to bring in income just as much as you, but then also take on those roles and also have babies for you. Like, it's just, Like, how much do you want out of this person? And then when the woman gets tired and she can't like do anymore, then it's upset. Then it's like, oh, she's not the same as she was.
You know, the biggest crisis that men seem to be facing in our society right now is male loneliness. And the biggest crisis that women seem to be facing, I mean, like, besides SA and murder and dismemberment and cannibalism and trafficking and besides those things, is that, you know, they do all the work, all the mental labor, all the household labor, all the childhood labor. So men have to struggle with hard feelings, and women struggle with literally everything else. But so much of masculinity has been built in our society around men having a woman. And men aren't allowed to be true men if they don't have a woman, if they aren't in a romantic relationship. And I think if we look on a deeper, kind of darker side of that, men need to dominate someone or something in order to be a true man. That is the gendered script that has been written by patriarchy for men. But men cannot comprehend why a woman would want to be alone, because so much of their identity and their gender is wrapped up with having a woman, being in a romantic relationship with someone. It is near impossible for a man to conceive why a woman would not want that, because they would never, ever, ever choose that. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to that, and there are men who break free of that. But there is a great reckoning that is happening in our country and in countries like South Korea, where women are realizing their lives are better without men. And the more that you can decenter men in your life, the happier and more fulfilling of a life you can have. And that is creating a crisis for men who have built their entire identity around having a woman, and now they are suffering with male loneliness. And instead of becoming the type of person that a woman would want to partner with, someone who actually adds something to her life that makes her life more vibrant, more meaningful, someone who is able to help her carry the weight of life instead of adding weight to her life, men just blame women. But men need women in a way that women don't need men, because of the way that gender scripts have been written. Men need women in order to feel secure in their own gender. Women don't need that. Which means ultimately men need to rethink manhood, because this isn't going to work. Like, with the way that society is going and what women need in order to feel safe and secure and have vibrant, life-giving lives, this isn't going to work. Men have to rethink masculinity, and most aren't willing to do that.
He was preaching. He just gave us the gospel. That's the hard truth. This is something we've been saying. Men need to control. The patriarchy system is destroying men as much as it is destroying women and the society itself. The structure is not working for anyone but the greedy leaders, the people that put the structure in place. All I say is greed. They used men to achieve whatever they wanted to achieve then and whatever they're achieving right now. Capitalism is also part of it. Because when they create a story and force people to buy the story and the narrative, they have a product to sell. So now, they've made it in a way that men cannot exist on their own without women. For you to be seen as a true man, you need a woman that is under you. You need to dominate. You need to control. But women, nobody wants that. Do you want that? No, nobody wants that. We know better. Why should I go to work, hustle, go to school, do everything for myself, and then I get into a relationship or marriage with someone and then the person is controlling me? Like, it doesn't make sense. Women are speaking up. They want partnership, but men don't want that. Because to them, oh, why should I partner with this person I'm supposed to control? No, nobody is anybody's slave. You don't own any human being. You can't create any human being. So why should you be feeling entitled over your fellow human being? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's madness. Sometimes I'm like, is it that men don't think? So men are so authoritative. They feel so entitled. They talk with so much audacity, like they can create a human. Please, ladies, we need to know better and do better. Honestly, we need to know better and do better. It's very important. If you would love to watch more videos like this, please click this video to watch men who betrayed and abandoned their women on the altar. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.